Oh, hello, and welcome to Prediction Movie Review. Hey guys, my name is Dylan. Nowadays, we get so many sequels, prequels, and reboots. And even then, movies just follow generic stories, tropes, cliches, and get ruined by the biggest flaw of them all, marketing. Armed with only a trailer and the first part of a movie, we'll pause to make predictions on what we think will happen the rest of the way, and then check back in at the end to see how we did. Do you remember when Kevin Hart got busted for cheating on his wife and things didn't look so good for him in the public eye? Yeah, I don't either, because he then almost died in a car crash. Thankfully he's made a full recovery, but that is sure one way to sweep some bad press under the rug. I probably would have went with something a little less life-threatening. Bit of a weird side note to start off on, but I was waiting for Netflix to give me some more Too Hot to Handle episodes and saw he has a new movie. So while I wait to see if all these beautiful young people can just keep their hands off of one another for 4 weeks, it's the prediction movie review for Fatherhood.
This is a group for new mothers.
On that sign out there it says parents. I'm a parent and I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
From what I've heard, that is all parents. If you're looking for a sign you're doing a good job, it's like cooking spaghetti. You have to throw it against the wall to see how it's coming along. You know what? On second thought, maybe I shouldn't have kids.
Girl's got some stuff flying out her ass and she can either hit you with a streamer or she'll buckshot you. It's a quick whop. I need help.
Kevin, I had pad thai last night. Let me tell you, that is not exclusive to your daughter. It has been a rough 12 hours.
Maddie, go to sleep. Maddie, go to sleep. Go to sleep, Maddie.
How does it look?
I think it's a new look. I think it's a new hairstyle that can catch on if given a chance.
You know what? I think this might just catch on.
It's always just us. Other people have more people.
Wait, what? I am basically all alone in this closet, and you're telling me people have other people? Wow. That's wild. I'm gonna have to try that sometime.
2 kisses. 1 for mommy. 1 for me.
Somebody's cutting onions or something close to us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, damn it. Whoever's cutting onions, if you could just, stop for a little bit, that would be great. You can really tell that studios are scrambling to get their movies out now that things are reopening. This is like the 4th or 5th movie I've seen where the first trailer for it comes out less than a month before it's released. I'm sure that's a great way to get the word out. Trailer done, now on to the first part of the movie, then we'll come back and make some predictions. My goodness, I'm sure things will change, but so far, it is literally Matthew, a guy whose wife suddenly dies after giving birth to their first child, and then every other character is there to tell him how he's going to screw this up and fail. How about you just let the man grieve and raise his daughter? Also, the mood at the service after the funeral is not at all how it should have been. His friends are joking around, and his mom and mother-in-law are plotting on how to get the baby away from him. But it sure is an emotional gut punch so far. Let's make some predictions. When Maddie is older, she will get curious about her mother. Matthew is going to have to explain what happened, and that everything he does is to make Liz proud and do the best for Maddie. The necklace he gave Liz right before she died, he will later give to Maddie as a way to remember her mom. Matthew and his friends will go out and he will meet someone. They will hit it off, but he will keep Maddie a secret, canceling dates and things like that. But eventually it will come out that he has a daughter and she will be okay with that. Judging by the outfits that Maddie is wearing in the trailer, Matthew must follow through with Liz's hopes of having her kids go to that fancy school. Maddie will get in a fight or bang her head somehow while at school and end up in hospital. This will lead to Liz's mom thinking that Matthew can't do this as he's put his daughter in harm's way and demand that they either move back to Minnesota or that she takes Maddie. Matthew will regrettably leave Maddie with Liz's mom and go back to Boston. However, he will realize he's made a huge mistake and rush to go and get her. He will also give an impassioned speech about how he's doing the best he can and that that's pretty damn good. Eventually, Maddie will come around to Matthew's new girlfriend. She will say she only wants her dad to be happy because he makes her so happy. He and the girl will end up together and we will see them being one big happy family. the people who doubted him, mainly Liz's mama looking at you, will finally come around and realize he did a great job raising Maddie and say they were wrong to doubt him and that Liz would be proud. Alright, I guess we should get back to the movie. Boy, was I wrong for seeing Kevin Hart and thinking this was going to be nothing more than a comedy. But for real though, if you could just stop cutting onions for 20 minutes, that would be great. Thanks. Right off the bat, I have to mention, Kevin Hart and Melody Hurd were amazing together in this. I got the sense that Kevin was a real father figure to her during the making of this because their interactions are great. For instance, this clip seems to be a genuine interaction between the two, and it is so wholesome.
Oh my gosh, there's a booger on your shirt. Take it off now. Take it off now. Take it off now!
We'll talk more on the movie in just a bit. For now, let's check in to see how the predictions went. I was so close to a flawless victory. How close do you ask? One single prediction away from achieving glory. That one thing was how Matthew met Liz number 2. And yes, that is what I'm calling her. As I paused, he was leaving Maddie with a babysitter for the first time to go out with his boys. I thought he would be pressured into talking to a girl, and that's how they'd meet. Instead, at a birthday party, their friends secretly set them up. Other than that, I totally crushed it, which is a bit of a catch-22 because I want to do well, but also that means these movies are far too predictable. Maddie becomes curious about what her mother was like while visiting her old room, and her grandmother explains that Maddie is just like her. We do get this sweet moment where Matthew tells Maddie she can choose any piece of jewelry that was her mother's, and she so happens to choose the necklace he gave her right before she died. Maddie is enrolled in the school that her mother wanted her to go to. It was cool to see Maddie fighting the dress code, but it was even cooler to see her dad defending her and not letting them dictate what she wears. Even if that did lead to her getting in a fight, hitting her head, and ending up in the hospital. We even get Liz's mom saying that none of this would have happened if Matthew was a better father and forced her to wear a skirt. It all happened kind of quickly. I thought they were just visiting Minnesota, but Matthew does end up leaving Maddie there for a bit. Not before he realizes just how much she means to him and he goes back to get her. I also love that after all of the adversity he had faced and people telling him that he would fail, not only did he raise an amazing young girl, but he earned the respect of everyone, especially Liz's mom. And lastly, Maddie approves of Liz number 2. We see them going back to get her, and we end seemingly as one big happy family. I have to say, this was a really sweet movie, and the fact that it's based on a true story makes it even crazier. Kevin Hart was good in this. He gets to be his usual goofy self a bit, but for the most part, he is acting his ass off. My man's trying to add Oscar nominee to his resume. I'm not the biggest Kevin Hart fan, but it was nice to see him in a more serious role. There were times where the balance between those two sides to his character overlapped, but for the most part it worked. Melody Hurd deserves a bunch of praise, and so too does Paul Weitz. I imagine directing kids isn't easy, but he did a great job, and she came through in a big way. She is a joy to watch. One of the only things that really hurt this movie was its runtime. Thing is almost 2 hours long. There were certainly some things I thought we could have skipped, trim the fat to tell a more concise story. Also, depending on who was in the scene, it would have a completely different vibe from everything else. If it was Matthew and his boys, we were in a full-on comedy, and occasionally Kevin Hart would be dramatic. And then you have any scene between him, his mom, and mother-in-law, and we're in a full-blown drama. Bit all over the place, but it didn't hurt it enough for me not to enjoy it overall. I just can't believe this is based on a true story. The real Liz actually did die after giving birth to their daughter, who then Matthew raised alone, and really did meet and later married a second Liz. And I'm sure they cast Kevin Hart so that way he looks as much like the real Matthew as possible. Nailed it! Do Do you have a movie that you want to see a prediction movie review for? Obviously, I can't have seen the movie in order to make this work, but leave your suggestions in the comments below. Lastly, I predict that you will like the video and subscribe, and that's appreciated. Thanks for watching.